Bon. Bonjour tout le monde, j'espère que vous allez tous très bien aujourd'hui. Aujourd'hui, c'est mardi, le 7 juillet 2020. Donc, aujourd'hui, so today, c'est jeudi, non, pas jeudi, c'est mardi. Mardi, so we have lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi et dimanche. So, aujourd'hui, c'est mardi, le 7 juillet 2020. Oui. Et il est 8h30 maintenant. Il est 8h30 maintenant. That's how you can tell time in French. If you would like to take a peek at my previous videos, you're more than welcome to. Bienvenue à la français communauté. Welcome to Community French. Je m'appelle Léo et je suis votre prof de français aujourd'hui, ce matin. J'espère que vous allez tous très bien aujourd'hui. Et oui, aujourd'hui, on va commencer avec un petit truc, a little thing. We're going to talk about the verb vouloir, which means to want in French. But before we get into that, I would like to mention that please feel free to take a peek at our Facebook page, at our Instagram page, and our website on the internet, and you can find a ton of resources and information about future classes and all that good jazz. So feel free to take a peek there. We have other things that are going to be offered. We would love for you to check it out. And if you could like, comment, and share on this video, that would be greatly appreciated. Donc, on va commencer avec l'exercice. Bon. Donc, now we know in French, verbs are very important, just like any language, because to form a sentence in any language, basically, I mean, for the most part, you need a subject, a verb, a subject, a verb, and an object. So in French, you need the same thing, but just know that it changes sometimes. So there are two verbs that are very important in French, but the problem is they're irregular. They don't conjugate like a regular IR verb. So it wouldn't be IS, ISIT, ONS, EZENT. It wouldn't conjugate like that. It conjugates differently because it's irregular. Donc, so we're going to look at two verbs this week. I'm going to break this up into two lessons because both verbs are very important. Because these verbs are very useful. You can attach these verbs to any it's basically like in a want or a need, you know, or like an ability to show these verbs. Like you could these two verbs, they show either a want or they can show like an ability to be able to. So the two verbs that we're going to be looking at this week are vouloir et pouvoir. We're going to look at vouloir first. Vouloir means to want, which I'll explain down here. And pouvoir means like to can, like it sounds weird to put it in the infinitive form, but it means like can, basically. I'll show you what I mean down below. We're going to look at pouvoir on Thursday, so we're not going to worry about this one. We're going to look at vouloir first, vouloir. Donc, so let's memorize the conjugations of the following verbs. Repeat after me, and if you have pen and paper, feel free to take it out and write it down. Donc, so répétez après moi, s'il vous plaît. Pardon. Donc, je veux. V-E-U-X. Je veux. Très bien. Tu veux. V-E-U-X. The same spelling. Veut. Il, elle veut. You notice the pronunciation? The same thing. V-E-U-T. V-E-U-T. You notice my mouth? T. You notice my mouth? It goes V-E-U-T. French is very big on consonants being vocalized. Certain points, certain consonants. Donc, so il, elle, veut. So we have je veux, tu veux, il, elle veut. So it sounds the same. It's just remember at the end, at this one, the il, elle, we could also have on here. It has a T. It doesn't have an X. T. Donc, we have nous voulons, nous voulons. V-O-U-L-O-N-S. Voulons. Nous voulons. That means we want. Vous voulez. Vous voulez. That's vous. Remember what vous means? Vous is the third person like formal. Not the third person, sorry. It's just like it's the no, it is, yeah, it's the third person plural, sorry. Vous voulez. Vous voulez. V-O-U-L-E-Z. Z. For the French, they it depends on what dialect of French you learn. I've heard people say Z. I've heard people say Z also, but I like to say Z. So we have vous voulez, which means you, like in the formal sense, or as a group. Vous voulez means you want. Ils, elles veulent. Ils, elles veulent. Notice I'm not pronouncing the S, so I'm not saying ils or elles. The only time I would pronounce the S is if there was a vowel. If there was a vowel, excusez-moi. Don't, so like, the only thing I can think of right now is ils attachent. Ils attachent. That means like they attach, basically. That's the, I don't know. That's the thing that first came to my head. Donc, so if ils, elles veulent. V-E-U-L-E-N-T. Let's do it slow. V-E-U-L-E-N-T. Très bien. So let's recap on this verb. This verb's irregular, so. And you're going to see this throughout. If you keep going with French, you're going to see this every time. These two verbs. Then you have to memorize these conjugations because they get more difficult and difficult after a while because there are several irregular verbs in French. Donc, we have je veux. So we're going to go through this a little fast and then we're going to go to an exercise. So, je veux. Tu veux. Il, elle veut. Nous voulons. Vous voulez. Il, elle veulent. Donc, so I'm going to translate this to an English for you. Je veux means I want. Tu veux means you want, like you, like in the informal sense. Il, elle veut. He, she, or we could do on. On is like one. Veut, he, she, or one wants. Nous voulons, we want. Vous voulez, you want, formal or in a group. Ils, elles veulent, they want. Donc, so we're going to use vouloir with an infinitive to indicate a desire to do something. So this is the thing about an irregular verb in French. You can attach it with another verb, and it shows that you have a want to do something. Just because the infinitive vouloir means to want. So if you attach it, if you attach it to another verb, it's going to show that you have a desire to want to do something. So comme ça, regardez, like this. Watch. Look. Je veux manger. Je veux, I want. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? What does this mean? Manger. Manger. Oui, manger. That means to eat. Très bien. Je veux manger. I want to eat. That's how you can show that you have a desire to do something. And how do we make that negative? We've worked on negatives before, but this is just a brand new lesson, and I'll tell you how to do negatives. So what you do is you put the ne pas around the conjugated verb, the first conjugated verb. You don't put it around the two of them. You put it around the first conjugated verb, closest to the subject pronoun. So we have je ne veux pas manger. Ne pas. Ne pas goes around the conjugated verb. But that was just a way to make another sentence, basically. We're not going to really, we'll look into that coming up in the exercise. So we have je veux manger. I want to eat. Elle veut danser. Elle veut danser. She wants to dance. Danser looks just like to dance in English, which is nice. There's a lot of close things in French to English. Tu veux aller? Tu veux aller? You want to go? Now I can make that into a question as well. And the way I can make it into a question is if I raise my voice. So, tu veux aller? Tu veux aller? I could put est-ce que tu vas aller? Est-ce que tu veux aller? Or I can say veux-tu aller? I can flip it. Veux-tu aller? That was just a little side thing that I just want to explain to you. There's 3 ways to form questions in French. Bon, très bien. And that's the pouvoir, so we're not going to really look at that. So this is what I was saying earlier. As with aimer and aller, aimer means to like, and aller means to go. Negative sentences using vouloir et pouvoir place ne pas around the conjugated verb. So just like this. I said this exercise, this example. Je ne peux pas danser. Je ne peux pas danser. Très bien. So we have the je, which is the subject pronoun. Je means I. Je ne peux pas, cannot. Actually, we're looking at vouloir today, but I'll show you pouvoir aujourd'hui. It's the same concept. Let's say pouvoir means like can, like I said above, but let's put vouloir in here instead of pouvoir, because that means if I say je ne veux pas danser, what does that mean? If I say je ne veux pas danser, I don't want to dance. That's correct. I don't want to dance. If I say, because if I have right here, je ne peux pas danser means I cannot dance. So I want to say I do not want to dance. Je ne veux pas danser. I don't want to dance. Très bien. Bon, so this is just for pouvoir, but I just wanted to show that you can take the ne, pas, and you put it around the conjugated verb, the first conjugated verb. And immediately following the conjugated verb goes the infinitive. The infinitive is a verb that you can find like this, like manger, manger, danser, aller. That always goes right after the conjugated verb. Très bien. Bon. Now this is, I'll do a few exercises with you. So we won't do these, we'll do these 2 right here. Write a correct pronoun for each of the following conjugations. We can do this aloud. We even have it right here. So numéro 3, voulons. Voulons. So now we know that O and S goes with what subject pronoun? Je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle, pluriel. Pluriel. Nous voulons. Très bien. Then we have numéro 4. Veut. Veut. So we have, is it je veux, tu veux, il, elle, veut. Same pronunciation. Just notice there's one difference between the je, tu, and then there's the il, elle. It's the T. So remember, the T goes with the il, elle, on veut. Très bien. Bon. Let's move up. Now we are going to look at the verb vouloir, just like we did earlier dans la classe. Let me move this down. Bon. Bon, très bien. We have the conjugation right up here. So anytime throughout this exercise, if you forget or if you want to know how to conjugate it again, feel free to take a peek right there. Bon, très bien. So we're going to do exercise 4.22. 4.22. Translate the following into French. I'm using this exercise because I want to use this verb vouloir, not pouvoir. Pouvoir is this exercise. We're going to be doing this exercise on jeudi. Bon, très bien. Translate the following into French. So I'll give you all the vocabulary if you don't remember, but I'll ask you a question as well, and feel free to put it in the comments down below what you think it is. So we want an apple. We want. So let's break the sentence down. How do we say we want in French? We want. Très bien. Nous voulons. Nous voulons. How do we say apple? Une. We have to put the une because we're using the indefinite article. We're not using the definite article. le, la, les, l'apostrophe. We're using the un, une, ou des. So, une pomme. Très bien. Numéro 2. That's how you say, no, numéro 2. That's how you say, we want an apple. He wants a wife. So how do we say he wants? You know, he is il. And what's the conjugation for in vouloir in the il form? Veut. Très bien. Veut. And how do you say wife? Une femme. Une femme. Très bien. Femme means like woman, but it also translates to wife as well. There's really no other word like how we have in English. Wow. I mean, there is a few ways, but they every day they say femme, femme, femme. Bon. They want to go to the cinema. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna use two verbs in this phrase. Phrase is the word for sentence in French, so excuse me if I use that word often. Sometimes it's difficult to go back between French and English, so excusez-moi. Donc, they want to go to the cinema. So how do we say they want? We've used this before, so we're gonna worry about this conjugation right here. Ils, elles veulent. Now, if this was specified that it was all women, it would have the F right next to the they, plural. But there could be 999 women and one man, and the pronoun that gets used is the il, the masculine pronoun. French is just like that, I guess. It's just they just take the masculine. They don't really take. I mean, they take the masculine for certain things. Bon. They want to go to the cinema. Ils veulent. Now, how do we say to go in the infinitive? Now, we know the conjugation of to go. I mean, we've studied this previously, but I'll tell you anyway. It's je vais, tu vas, il va. Nous allons, vous allez, ils vont. Bon. But the thing is, we have to put this verb into the infinitive. So what is the infinitive again? It's like this, where you have ils veulent aller. That means that the infinitive is the to go, to eat, to speak, to run, to drink. That's the infinitive form. So ils veulent aller. Now, how do we say to the cinema? Previously, we've worked on contractions. If you have any questions, feel free to take a peek at the contractions video I did. I think it was last week. We do contractions. Now, cinéma in French, it's le cinéma. So it's au ciné. We can do au ciné. Or we can do cinéma. But there's an accent over this E. I just don't have the capability to add it. Il va aller au cinéma. Très bien. She wants to dance. She wants to dance. So we have, how do we say she in French? The subject pronoun she. We say elle. Très bien. How do we say she wants? Elle veut. Très bien. Hop là. Elle veut. How do we say to dance in French? It's very close to English. In this, we're putting this the second verb in the infinitive, because there's a rule in French where the first verb that's in the sentence gets the conjugation and the second verb gets the infinitive. So the second verb is always in the infinitive. So we have she wants to dance. Elle veut danser. Très bien. 5. You don't want to sing. You don't want to sing. Now this one we're using the ne pas because it's negative. Now in English, you have to look really closely to make sure that it's negative. Then we know it's negative because we have the contraction don't, do not. So I'm going to use the tu form in this context because if there was more than one person, it would specify. So donc numéro 5. You don't want to sing. You don't want to sing. Now, how do we make something negative again? We take the ne pas and we put it around the conjugated verb. Now, it may seem like in this phrase, in this sentence, they're using the verb to do. Obviously they are. You do not want to dance, but in French you don't really have to put the do, because the ne pas is kind of acting as the do if in this translation. Watch what I do. So tu ne veux pas danser, non, chanter, pardon. Chanter means to sing. This is a question. I would say it's a question. So like I was saying previously, you don't have to put the verb to do, want, to, sing. So what happens is I put the ne pas around the first conjugated verb, and that basically takes place of the do not, basically, in English. So tu ne veux pas chanter? Tu ne veux pas chanter? Non, tu ne veux pas? You don't want to sing? So that's how you can say that. Très bien. Numéro 6. You all don't want to wait. This is where we would use what subject pronoun? You all don't want to wait. That's where you would, excuse me, that's where we would use the vous subject pronoun. Vous, because it's a group. Vous. Now, how do we say you want in French? Vous voulez, très bien. Now, how do we say you do not want? Vous ne voulez pas, très bien. Vous ne voulez pas. Now, très bien, that means you don't want to wait. No, you don't want, excuse me. Now, to wait, it's an RE verb in French. It has a different conjugation, but we don't have to worry about the conjugation right now because we're keeping it in what form? The infinitive, très bien. Attendre, that's how you say to wait. That's how you say to wait. Vous ne voulez pas attendre? Vous ne voulez pas attendre? Très bien, that means to wait. Bon. Numéro 7. They want to sing. Now, like I said previously, this could be a group of 999 women and one man, and the il form takes it. So it's going to be il, even though il is masculine. Il, now how do we say they want? Ils veulent, très bien. And now we use the verbs to sing earlier. How do we say to sing in the infinitive? Chanter, très bien. Ils veulent chanter. Ils veulent chanter. That's a statement. Ils veulent chanter. Bon. Numéro 8. My children don't want to obey. I was going to say obey me, but my children don't want to obey. So my children, that's a plural form of my child. So we're going to take the possessive, which is it mon, ma, or me? It's me. Mes enfants. So this is where we would use a liaison, which is if I say mes enfants, mes enfants, mes enfants. So it's mes enfants. You have to put the liaison between because it doesn't really flow if you don't put the liaison. So mes enfants. Now this is plural. So picture mes enfants. That's taking place of this il form. So mes enfants ne veulent pas, because we have to put the ne pas around the conjugated verb. Très bien. Now, how do we say to obey? I think I've worked on this previously. Maybe that was something else. But obey in French is this verb right here. Obéir. Now this verb obéir has an accent aigu over the E, which means it goes up. I cannot input accents on my computer, excuse me. So just remember when you want to do this exercise, if you want to do this exercise, obéir has an accent. Accents are very important in French, and I hate the fact that I cannot add accents. I don't know why. I've played around with settings and so forth, but it's very, very difficult to add accents on my computer. Bon. I'm going to post this, so it's right there. Voila. Bon, let's recap. Let's recap a little bit of what we did today. So firstly, I explained to you what we were going to do. We were going to work on the verb pouvoir, vouloir, sorry, vouloir. We went over the conjugation. We went over the conjugation of the verb right here, this verb. Je veux, tu veux, il, elle veut. Nous voulons, vous voulez, il, elle veulent. I spelled it for you. V-E-U-X, V-E-U-X, V-E-U-T, V-O-U-L-O-N-S, V-O-U-L-E-Z, V-E-U-L-E-N-T. I can do it pretty fast because I speak French. But if you guys take it slow, you guys will be perfect. So use vouloir. So this is where we can, when we take an infinitive form, what is an infinitive again? That's the verb with the to in front of it. Like to eat, to sing, to dance, to drink. So we're gonna, if we put vouloir with an infinitive, that shows that we have a desire to do something. So je veux manger, je veux danser, je veux aller. Elle veut danser, elle veut aller, elle veut boire, boire means to drink. Très bien. And last thing was, just like basically any verb in French, if you want to make a negative, you take the ne pas and you put it around the conjugated verb. So je ne, we're going to replace the pe right here with veux, because we want to say, I don't want to dance. So je ne veux pas danser. Je ne veux pas danser. Elle ne veut pas perdre means she does not want to lose. Nous ne voulons pas chanter. We don't want to sing. I just replaced the pouvoir with the pouvoir. And next week, we're going to be looking at the verb pouvoir, not next week, next Thursday. Ce jeudi, on verra le verbe pouvoir. We will see the verb pouvoir. And the last thing was I did a quick exercise with you right here. Translate the following into French. We had some vocabulary that we've learned in the past, but also if it was new to you, I have the writing right here. So what I'm going to do is after I finish this lesson, I'm going to we can make this into a worksheet, and what I can mention what happens is when I make this into a worksheet. I don't make it personally, but we have someone that does. It turns into a worksheet, and then it gets added onto our website. So the reason why I mention our website, rolalanguages.com, is because we have tons of resources there. If you ever desire to want to learn another language like Portuguese or Spanish or I was gonna say Chinese and Chinese, Zhongwen, we have tons of resources there. So we actually don't have a lot of resources in Chinese right now, but we're hoping to add them. But we have tons of resources, and feel free to take a peek at our page. And all the videos are posted there as well as on Facebook. I believe the videos are all up there. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. But yes, so if you could like, comment, and share this page, that would be greatly appreciated. And I just wanted to just to explain that little thing, because if you have any questions, you can always refer to our website. Bon, now I'm going to stop this here. Bon. Alors, j'espère que cette leçon était agréable avec vous. I hope this lesson is very helpful to you. It's very good, agréable, good, like very agreeable to you. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on this video. And if you could like, comment, and share, that would be greatly appreciated as well. Feel free to take a peek at our Rola Languages website online, and you can find all our resources, just like I said previously. And and there's tons of worksheets there and all that good jazz. So it'd be greatly appreciated. Oui, c'est tout. Okay, so it's time to end, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the lesson today. And check back on Thursday, and I will be doing community French again. So à jeudi. Bonne journée à vous. Merci.